are not getting the number they want. It's getting worse. It's going to continue to get worse. And if you deny it, you probably should just stop watching this YouTube video because you don't know real estate, okay? Pace knows real estate. No, I have agents that are unsubscribing from me right now. Okay, let's start over. I feel bad. Hey guys, if you are a real estate agent in 2022, 23, 24, and 25, you know that creative finance has been an absolute necessity to add to your tool belt. So in this video, I want to tell you a couple of things that you need to know to go to your seller and make sure you understand before you start negotiating with agents, other agents, with investors, and how to educate yourself, all right? So in this video, you are going to see me talking to Debbie. Debbie has a listing currently in a city called Santan Valley. Her seller bought the property, is emotionally tied to the property, as most of our sellers are. If you're an agent, you understand this. And Debbie's trying to get the highest purchase price for that seller as possible. The problem is, houses in that neighborhood are selling for 430 grand. Actually, they're not even selling for 430, they're selling for like 415, being listed at 430, but Debbie's client wants to sell at 500. Did you know somebody like me would actually buy that house for $500,000? As long as the terms make sense for me, as long as I can make cash flow, as I can make sense of the investment, I will take over payments on somebody's house and I will do seller finance on the remaining equity. We call it a hybrid. So in this walkthrough, you'll see me walking through with Debbie, kind of chatting it up. But there's a very key component part in this video where I tell Debbie to go back to her client and get 4 things. Watch the video to figure out what those 4 things are that you need to talk to your client about. And what we'll do is we'll do a whole entire series on educating real estate agents on how to do sub-2 deals. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm gonna be spending the next 18 months deep diving in real estate agent knowledge, bringing in some brokers, bringing in lawyers that tell you how legal and how common subject to is. If you're an agent, you've never done a sub-2 deal, it doesn't mean it's not legal. It means that you just haven't done it before. And so we will continue to show interviews with agents, interviews with brokers, interviews with attorneys to show you how common this really is. It's just something that hasn't entered your ecosphere. Anyway, enjoy the video. That's the problem when you live out in like the rural area. Hi, hey. How's it going? If you don't mind, he's gonna film. No. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Pace.
Oh, it's nice to meet you.
Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
I appreciate you.
So they're out of state, or they leave the state?
They're here.
They're here, okay.
Here.
So why did they move out? Why didn't they just stay here?
They wanted to move in Gilbert. I have 3 girls. We all live in Gilbert.
Makes sense.
Together, we're really close.
It's far out here. They were here 7 years. They took good care of it.
Yeah, they really, did some upgrades and they loved it, but
yeah, it's got little deferred maintenance. Like it probably needs a new paint job and it needs some little things here and there, little repairs, light bulbs, obviously smoke detector, batteries. But like outside of that, the tile still, even though this is like 2015 tile, this is tile I would keep. The carpet.
There's more tile in here.
This was always the funniest thing to me. So they literally were like, all right, we're gonna move.
They wanted to move, they have a little girl. They didn't think it was gonna be this long.
It's gonna get worse.
I mean, for them to move, they didn't think it was like.
Oh, you mean to sell?
To sell, yeah, because it took them like 6 months.
Yeah, it's gonna get way worse. Like with interest rates going up again next month, again in 3 months after that, it's like gonna be diabolical. Holy moly.
Yeah, this is a really nice.
This is like a bedroom.
It is.
Like what the heck?
There's your tile. Like it came with the house, so there's a lot of tile there.
This is huge. Are you kidding me? What's interesting is the builder, like why would the builder not just go, all right, we're gonna have the tile all the way through here. Like how much money do they really save by doing carpet in this hallway?
And they put new carpet in just recently.
Yeah, it looks newer, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this floor plan is a floor plan I've bought before. I like the floor plan. I wouldn't change anything here. I think the outside literally just needs like a cleanup on the.
Yes, they have a gardener come out and he didn't show.
Yeah.
So they never got the.
That's the hard thing with like just landscape cleanup guys is like $30 to do this job or $100 to do the job. It's hard to get them to show up. Okay, so in here, I might even, this carpet probably is fine. We'll probably just clean the carpet. Might not even, it just maybe needs to be vacuumed. In here, just the only thing is paint it because it's like from the they've got the 2015 color still in this bathroom and they painted the rest of the house at some point, probably later. So I would paint in here. I'd just paint the whole interior of the house. Somebody did the tile work themselves in here. So we got to redo the tile. We got to redo the tile in here or do carpet in here because this tile's not great. And then the rest of the house is missing, this is missing blinds, but the rest of the house have blinds. So we would need to add a blind there. Good ceiling fans, but I don't know that they all match. I would add, just talking to Molly right now, I would add more can lights in here just because you have no light in here. And if you're watching TV, there's like, I guess they don't have blinds. I think maybe the only room they have blinds in is the primary. Yeah, no, not even that. They only have blinds in the primary bathroom. So we'd have to add blinds to the whole thing. And then in here, maybe what I would do is I would tile here all the way around and just kind of clean that up. Nobody ever uses these tubs, you know? Yeah, easy. This is an easy little deal. The problem is like the location of this. Okay, well, if I was gonna turn this into an Airbnb, nobody's gonna come stay here as an Airbnb. It's not an Airbnb location. What do they wanna do? Because it seems like the only solution for them is selling at Subto and letting somebody like me just take over payments, getting you a commission, getting them some cash in their pocket. Like what does he wanna do? What is it listed for right now?
500, but you know, 499. But it was before at 580 with another agent.
So when somebody says he's open to it, my brain as an investor go, I have no time for people that are open for things. I have time for people that are like, I'm ready to go. What's the thing that would get him to go, I'm not open, I'm ready to go. Like I want this off my plate, give me some cash, let's figure out the structure. What is the thing holding him back?
Well, I know you did hybrid before.
Yeah.
Maybe you would want to do a hybrid where he's getting some cash with
Yeah.
You know, you do the Subto with the mortgage and then you do the hybrid with the
his equity, yeah. Got it. Okay, so here's what we got to figure out. Okay, so this is on your homework. You got to figure out if I take over the house subject to, he's going to have a remaining amount of equity, right? Whatever that is, could be $200,000.
The difference between the loan and the amount that he's selling it for.
Right.
Okay.
So then what we would do is we would have a contract amount for the two combined. Let's say it's $499, which is a crazy. There's no way he'd get $499 on the market. Just every other house in the whole street selling for $430, $440, but whatever that number is, it doesn't matter. He says, I want to sell it for $480. My remaining balance is $230, so you take that Subto. The other part of the balance is $250. What I want is I want a down payment towards that $250, and then the remaining balance I want a payment on of this much money per month. Okay, if I don't know that, we can't structure anything. Okay, so let's say, for example, I can go rent this out for $2,500, hypothetically. My Subto loan is $1,200, and then he goes, I want $1,000 a month for my payment. Okay, if I pay him $1,000, now combined between the $1,200 and his $1,000, I'm all in for $2,200. And it seemed like if I rented it for $2,500, I would make how much money? What's the difference? $300.
Oh, $300, yeah.
Yeah, so $300. It would seem like, okay, that seems like a good deal. But then I have property management, and then I have other miscellaneous like vacancies, repairs, blah, blah, blah. So like if I'm only making $300, it basically is, I'll probably end up losing at the end of the day about $100 a month. So I've got to be able to make probably maybe $500 a month in cash flow in order for me to make a deal like this work. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like, do we have a pen and paper? Oh, we do, heck yeah. Oh my gosh, smoke detectors need to be destroyed. Hey, let's go outside. We could do it on the back of my Tesla even. Stupid Tesla. I just walked by it and it's like, I can't even walk by the car without it just unlocking itself. You have a piece of paper? Here, let's do it right here. All right, so here's the thing. Okay, so let's say we do it for, Eric, you can come in here. Can you zoom in on it? Okay, so let's say that they sell the house for $480. I'm just making up a number.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever that number is. Everything in a creative finance negotiation is always like a teeter-totter, right? So he wants a high purchase price. What I want is a low down payment, okay? And if he's like, I want a high purchase price and a large down payment, well, you've just snapped the teeter-totter. That teeter-totter doesn't work. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. It's like, you can't just have everything. You can't say, this house is non-sellable right now, $499. It's not, it's vacant. It needs to be cleaned up. People need to do whatever. Somebody has to be out here. There's houses. and this is all my opinion, but like there's a house literally 5 houses away listed for $430, hasn't sold in 60 days. So what does that tell you about a $499 house that needs to be kind of cleaned up and whatever else, right? So, but that's my opinion. So he wants a high purchase price.
I think he does, but I think he's willing to go down a little bit.
Okay, so that's where you have to, that's how you have to figure out the teeter-totter, right?
Okay.
If you do 480, hypothetically, his remaining balance of the sub-2 deal is, you said like 230? So that means that there's a remaining balance of the seller finance portion, right? That he would seller finance to me.
Yeah.
And that would be 250,000, right? Totals 480,000, right? Cool, so the way I look at this is I really don't care so much about this. What I care about is and I don't even care about this, and I don't care about this. Okay. What I care about is what is my payment here? So if that's $1,300, cool. Then I add what he wants on his payment here. So let's say hypothetically, he wants $1,000 a month. I don't even care about that. What I care about is if those 2 payments monthly are costing me $2,300 and I go find a renter, let's say a renter comes along, I clean up the property, I put money in his pocket, I pay your commissions, I pay closing costs, all the things. I now have an investment. I am gonna clean it up, do the carpet, the tile in the 2 bedrooms doesn't look good, so I'm gonna replace that while the house is vacant. And I'm then gonna go find a tenant. So that tenant comes in and let's say I can rent this property for $2,500. I don't know what I can rent it for, I gotta look at that. Let's say I can rent it for $2,500. Well, how much money am I making per month? $200. So would you go through all this work to do all this and put money in somebody's pocket to make only $200 a month? I wouldn't. And the reason being is because let's say in a year from now, my tenant moves out, I have 1 month of vacancy. 1 month of vacancy is basically a year of cash flow equals $2,400 for a whole entire year of cash flow. I have 1 month of vacancy, my whole entire year's profit is gone. I basically spent money to clean it up, money in his pocket, all that kind of stuff. I have 1 month of vacancy as my one tenant's moving out and the next one's moving in. I have a dead month. Yeah. I just broke even for an entire year of my life. So I didn't have a return on my investment. So for me, the main thing I care about is how can I get his payment and this payment to give me a spread between what I can rent it for and what my total payment is. Because I don't buy houses. This is the thing people don't understand. Real estate investors don't buy houses, we buy cash flow. So how much cash flow am I really buying? $200 a month? Okay. So what I would do is the thing you gotta figure out is number 1, here's what you gotta figure out. Number 1, purchase price. Okay, so you gotta say, what is the purchase price that would make him happy? Number 2, what is the down payment? Okay, and then number 3, so purchase price, down payment, so that would be towards his equity, right? And then number 3 would be monthly payment towards his equity. So towards equity, and then number 4, I gotta know length of time. Okay, so for example, on this 250 equity, his big thing is like, well, I would really like that chunk of money back to me as fast as possible. So he's got to tell me, I'm willing to give you payments for 7 years or 5 years or 3 years or whatever that is. So if he comes to me and goes, okay, I want $480, I want $30,000 down, I want a monthly payment of $600 a month, and I want that to go on for 5 years, now we have something to talk about. Okay, because if it's me, here's what I would write. I would say $500,000 purchase price. I wouldn't even fight you on purchase price. I don't care about the purchase price. I care about the down payment and my ability to cash flow. He can win on the purchase price. And where the purchase price really shows up for him is when I pay him off or I sell the house or I refinance and he gets a big windfall of cash. Yeah. To me, today, purchase price doesn't affect me. What does affect me is down payment. What does affect me is the monthly payment. These are the 2 things I care about. So in a perfect world for me, I'd say $0 down payment. I already know that's not gonna work. So you don't want me writing down $0 down because that's what I want. He's gotta come to me, he's the bank. You and him are the bank. You guys gotta tell me what you're willing to do. So for me, in a perfect world, I'd say $0 down. In another perfect world, I'd say no payments on your equity for 5 years. You don't want that either, right? You got to tell me what you want and what would make sense. Because a guy like me that has a lot of opportunities, a seller says, oh, yeah, I'm open to it. Here's what I hear. Don't ever call that person again. Because I got other people who go, hey, when are you calling me back? When are you calling me back? When are you calling me back? Hey, can you do this? Can you do this deal, right? So I then got to spend and invest my time where people are ready to go. And somebody, even after 7 months of not having payments made on the house, or not payments, he's making payments, but 7 months of a vacant house saying, I'm open to it still, I go, man, what is keeping this person from moving forward? Okay, I'll let you keep that, yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's a great house, and it's definitely an up and coming location, but everywhere in Maricopa County is up and coming. Yeah. I'll never lose on this house, right? But am I willing to wait 7 years to get my money back? Yeah. That's the better question. Let's hypothetically say this. I make $200 a month in cash flow, and it cost me 20 grand to give him, money to you, closing costs, paint, replace the tile that somebody messed up in there, a bunch of other things, and then I got to turn into an Airbnb. What's it going to cost to get Airbnb up and going? Minimum 30 grand. I got furniture, I got pots and pans, I got minimum 30 grand. So with all of that, I'm in 70 grand. So how many months would it take for me to just get my 70 grand back if I'm only making 200 bucks a month? Or let's say 1,000.
Well, if you did the 70, you have the Airbnb. So
okay, let's say I make 1,000 a month. Let's say I make 1,000 a month after all my expenses are paid, right? Payment to the Subto loans, payment to him, utilities, cleaning expenses, property manager, all that kind of stuff. Let's say I make $1,000 a month. 70 months it would take me to get my money break even on a deal like this. Would you invest 70 grand to do a deal like that and wait literally 5.5 years to get your money back just to break even? I'm not saying it's not something that we don't do. I'm just saying that that's the way we think. I don't care about the house. I care if I put 70 grand in, when am I going to break even?
Yeah.
And then when can I actually start making a return? So when he looks through this, he goes, I want 580, I want $50,000 down. It's like, okay, I immediately go, nope, have a good day. This is where, as being a brand new real estate agent or even an investor, I used to get really tied to this stuff and I go, hey, let me follow up with you. I learned that if I have to follow up all the time, that means he's not ready. And he might have to go through 4 more months of torture.
I went, like you said, I watched one of your things just recently. You said, get off your laptop and get on your blacktop.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'm doing that. I need to do this. And
yeah, and you started drumming up all the attention and you started looking at those deals in Gilbert.
I found this deal in Gilbert, and my middle daughter, she wants to buy something, and we tried to do the seller finance, but they didn't want to do it. But they might come back around.
They always do.
And I'm going to research all in that complex to see if there's any more people that are renting that the seller might want to do the same thing.
Yeah, so here's what we find on creative finance. People say, well, the seller wasn't open to it. Well, yeah, the seller's not open to a lowball cash offer either, right? It just depends on the situation. But like this situation, if he's not ready today, here's what's gonna happen. December's coming around, nobody buys houses in December.
Yeah.
Then what's gonna happen is interest rates are gonna affect the market again. And then in February, when they raise the rates again, it's gonna affect it again. And by March, I will get the greatest deal on the planet on this deal. Because he's gonna say, you're gonna see houses starting to sell at $390 in this neighborhood. Mark my words, in the next 5 months, houses won't sell for $430, $450, $480 here, they'll sell for $390. And he'll say, I should have sold the house to Pace for 500 grand and locked in a specific price at a monthly payment. But sometimes people need to feel the pain for a couple months. He might have a little bit of pride that he's not gonna admit it until he's completely ready. So essentially what he's doing is trying to catch a falling knife. You ever heard that phrase before?
No.
Okay, so the value of this property is sinking every day. Yet he's throwing payments at something that's falling in value.
Yeah.
What is he doing? Makes no sense. So you are his client, so obviously you got to protect him and all that stuff. But I say, look at the market. We know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
When I remember in January and people go, oh, interest rates are going to go up, but that's not going to affect the market because there's so many buyers and we can't hit supply. Okay, look at the value of houses. Look at the days on market. Look what's happened to our market. I now have agents reaching out to me saying, I will give you this house. Just pay me $1,000 of my commission. I've been trying to sell this house for 7 months. It is going to get way worse. So when you tell me, hey, here's what he's thinking, bing, 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 what are your thoughts? And then we can get on another Zoom and we can talk through it. Okay, thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one. Let me know how it goes with Caroline and them.
Okay.
Thank you.